Hola. No sé. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I invite you to warmly welcome the participants of the MBA in International Business program. Dear MBA participants, distinguished guests, MIB faculty and staff, and extended MIB community, including those who are following our ceremony on live streaming. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the graduation ceremony of the 43rd edition of the MBA in International Business program. Apart from the MBA 33rd cohort, we also have 9 part-time participants who started their journey with MBA 32 and are now graduating today. This is a day of celebration and recognition that has come through hard work, perseverance, and dedication. Dear participants, I believe that today is an occasion that you will never forget. It is an important day also for your families and friends, as this achievement would have not been possible without their support and their encouragement. Ho il piacere di porgere un caloroso benvenuto anche in italiano alle famiglie e amici dei nostri diplomati che li hanno sostenuti e incoraggiati durante quest'anno e che oggi sono qui per festeggiare assieme a loro questo importante traguardo. Un especial saludo de bienvenida en español a las familias y amigos de nuestros diplomados que han venido desde muy lejos para compartir este importante momento con ellos y acompañarlos en este día de fiesta. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to introduce our Dean, Professor Andrea Traconia, who will now give his speech.
Dear all, good afternoon, dear MBA candidates. We are here today to celebrate your great achievement. We call it the graduation day. Such events are part of the life of this institution. I would say that they are the most important events in our life. And we proudly hold them in this beautiful hall, the main hall of the Ferdinandeo Palace. There are many memories, many impressions we all hold of the different ceremonies which we had over the last years. It's always incredibly touching, to be here and to celebrate your great achievement. Achievement that has been made possible through the efforts of many people, of course you, but also the faculty, also your family and dear friends. I will say something later about this. And the school staff. So it's a sort of an outcome of a collective effort. Tim Baxter, the MBA director, will soon take the floor and help you recall your long journey and the different steps and phases of it. My role as the dean is to rather focus on the value of an MBA and what our institution is doing, is performing in respect to its main duty, or what we consider our main duty, that is to preserve the value of your investment. An investment of money, an investment of time, an investment of energy over 1 or also 2 years. Essentially, the value of an MBA, in a very short view, my personal view, is based on 3 main pillars. The first one is the school that is awarding it. And I will say something about MIB. Now, the second pillar is the MBA's content and curriculum. There is something special in this MBA, which is worth to be said. And the third pillar, probably the most important, or definitely the most important, is the quality of the participants, you. The school. We are a peculiar institution. Although, as a business school, our mission is a traditional one. We sort of train young people, graduates, people with experience, and we help them orient themselves towards a career in business, and not only business. But in doing this, we also act as an institution, as a bridge between academia and the business world. This school is, I would say, exceptionally well connected to the corporate world. This is very peculiar of us. At the same time, we are also an academic institution, which means that we talk very often and all the time, I would say, with other academic institutions, be them the universities, but also research centers and so on and so forth. On top of this, we also hold a special and strong international orientation and footprint. In terms of student body, you know, your composition is speaking by itself, but also in terms of relations with businesses, the provenance of the faculty, the visiting faculty, and also the connections we have with other business schools. What about this program? This program, the MBA, holds a very special status within our portfolio. And not only because we were established on this program more than 30 years ago, not only because of this, but also because in our view, it represents the true essence of learning, of training, because it's a combination of professional development and personal development. We have also built it based on and in full compliance to our key values and the identity of the school. That is academic rigor, because we feel we are an academic institution, but also relevance to the business world and also impact to society. More and more, this impact to society is becoming one of the driving forces in also the redesign of the curriculum of the MBA. This MBA is also a platform for us to get into connection with the many different sides of society. And from this perspective, we have the privilege to watch and see the different evolutions affecting the economy and the society. And we have reflected them in the curriculum itself, so that you not only have taken courses which are traditionally part of an MBA, okay, business as usual, like finance, marketing, and so forth, but also you had also the possibility to focus on change and innovation as driving forces in the evolution of business models, with courses like innovation management or courses on entrepreneurship and so. Not only and these are very recent innovations of ours, We have also provided you the chance to get trained into data analytics and their impact on business. This is quite a brand new focus of ours. And also the new societal challenges of sustainability and ESG. Okay, so this MBA is a combination of all this, and I think this is worth to be recalled today, and is part of the value we are providing to you. But of course, the students are the key ingredient, as I was saying before. You know, the value of an MBA is definitely based on the effort, the energy you put into it, your dedication, your engagement, your commitment. And this is what we are today celebrating. The outcomes have been outstanding. We are very proud of you, and you should be very proud of yourself in terms of the achievements, the academic achievements, and also the professional achievements, and personal development achievements. One important dimension we have leveraged together over these 12 or 24 months has been diversity, your diversity, the diversity in terms of academic background, in terms of national culture, in terms of your work experience, whatever, you know, has been very important in order to enrich for this mutual enrichment process that this MBA has been also. And we have to sincerely thank you for having chosen MIB, our school, this school, as your key partner in this journey. You had many options available, and we had the privilege to be chosen by you, and we thank you a lot for this. And there are also other people we have to thank a lot. Your family members, your dear friends. Of course, they have supported you over these months of effort, of study, but also people working from the inside of the school. And I would like to take this chance to also thank, first, Victoria Pletz, the program manager, the MBA program manager, which took care of the daily operations of the program, and also put you in constant connection with the trainers and the companies and all, the people you needed support from. Thanks to Tim Baxter, which will soon take the floor, the MBA director, but also the person in charge of your leadership development. Tim helped you exploit in full your potential and your talents. Thanks to Barbara Vidotto, which supervised the selection process and also took care of the career orientation. And to all the people working in this school, also from behind of the scenes, and enthusiastically contributing to all the activities. What next? Well, soon you will get your degree, your diploma. This is part of the celebration, of course, but from tomorrow, you'll be free from any duty, at least educational duty, in respect to the school. Most of you probably will leave this beautiful city and resettle somewhere. Okay. It is very hard to imagine where. Which country, which company you will pick, which position you will hold. But what we know for sure is that, we can safely bet on your future success because we know your value. And my advice in your future pursuit is to dare. To try and make a difference in your organizations and in the world. Do not refrain yourself from taking risks because of a fear of failure. Try to make a difference. Don't, miss this opportunity for lack of confidence. We believe we have provided you also with this self-confidence, okay, to dare. And remember also that learning is a lifelong process, which means that even an MBA, the most important managerial qualification in the world, is destined to become obsolete. If not in a few years, but, very soon. So try and, renew your capabilities, your knowledge. And if you want, you can do this together with the school, together with the Alumni Association. And in closing this speech, I want to underline that this ceremony is not meant to be a goodbye, but an arrivederci, as my colleagues following will point at very clearly, particularly the chairman of the board of the Alumni Association, which will take the floor in a few minutes. So then definitely there will be many opportunities for meeting together. We hope you will always consider this school as your other home, okay? If not the second, but another home you can consider in your life, in your trips, in your moves, okay? And we'd like you to collaborate with the Alumni Association and work together for our mutual success, because your success is ours. So in giving the floor to Tim Baxter, may I express my best wishes to you all for a bright future, rich in happiness and satisfaction. Thank you very much.
Now I invite Tim Baxter, the director of the MBA in International Business, to take the floor.
Fantastic. Hello, everybody. You're looking fantastic. Now, Vicky has said that this is my opportunity. It's the final time I get to do a 4-hour lecture on leadership dynamics and accountability with you. Okay, so we'll start with the usual stuff. Okay, here we go. Actually, we won't, because I've been told by our experts that if I go more than 3 seconds, the YouTube streaming will be blocked because we're not paying copyright on that. So there you go. Just for the people who were thinking, what's that about? This is a piece of music that I use just to get the MBA's understanding we're about to start the session together. And I think it's a fitting piece of music. You like it, you don't like it. It's actually originally a song from Naples. From, I think, 1956, that was taken by the king of Mambo, the Cuban Prado Perez, and made a big hit internationally, which I think is a perfect thing for our idea of the MBA. Something from Italy, brought to the masses, and so basically it's infectious. And the strange thing is that probably these people will remember this horrible tune forever, so that's my fault. So what we're going to do today... We're not going to do that. Before, you heard the Dean speaking about the MBA, and I'd like to speak a little bit more about the MBA from my point of view. So what is an MBA? Well, literally, an MBA is that piece of paper that you're going to get with the ribbon. Yeah? Now, it's got to be more than that, and it's symbolic. I mean, you're going to get very excited, and you're not listening to a thing we say because you want the piece of paper. But at the end of the day, it's a piece of paper. So what I'd like to do is just spend a couple of minutes explaining what an MBA really is. And it's very abstract, but it means so much. So the piece of paper symbolizes something, and I'm not going to test you after this. Here is a 4-quadrant model. That's what we do at business schools. We show 4-quadrant models. And this one here is called the Johari window. You probably saw it at Valeria. And basically the idea is this. On the top, we've got what I know about myself, what I don't know about myself. And then vertically, we've got what others know about me, what others don't know about me. And this is a very simple and old model that was created in order to understand the dynamics, the interaction between me and the context. We're going to start at the bottom left, which is basically what I know about myself and what others don't know about me. Basically, I'll keep what I've got to myself. Yeah, this is called the Mars quadrant. Not a good place to be in if you're doing an MBA, to be honest. You're not going to get much return on investment there. What we'd like to do, obviously, is to go towards this, which is what I know about myself and what others know about me. That's a constant interaction between everybody because everyone is putting in because they know it's worth it and the pie gets bigger. However, that's only half of the game. And if you have a look on this, just on the arena, that's the top one, and the mask, what you'll see is stuff I already know. Where it gets really interesting, and where I believe an MBA should go, always, is the other side. Let's start with the one top right here. What others know about me and what I don't know about myself. This is called the blind spot. So when we speak about growth, when Andrea Tracogna speaks about this idea of growth and development, that's exactly a really important place to go. How much do you actually understand about yourself? How much can, through the experience, you add to that knowledge? So what I'm going to do here is basically explain to you something called the perception box. It's a very simple metaphor, and it goes like this. Well, we are all, this is Koch, we each live in our own box whose walls are invisible and unbreakable. These walls or constraints become the filter through which we interpret everyone and everything. The perception box encompasses the entire construct of our mind that we're used to calling reality. So basically, your ability to make the box bigger means that you grow and you develop. And the idea would be that you do something like this during the year. That's the idea. That's the idea. Now, obviously, to do that, you need to access the blind spot, but not just the blind spot. We have to go to the final section of our Johari window, which is bottom right. That's what I don't know about myself and what others don't know about me. It's called the unknown. Basically, are you willing to take a chance? Are you willing to play the game? Are you willing to go that extra that you didn't realize? Never done accountancy, what's it going to be like? Never worked with someone from the US, what's it going to be like? All of these examples are examples of the unknown. And that's where I think you need to measure an MBA. How much of your time did you spend in the blind spot and in the unknown? And the more you did, I think the more that you actually learn. Now, just to complicate things a little bit more, let me try and explain why it was particularly difficult for our friends MBA 33 and the guys finishing who started in MBA 32. And here I'm going to give you another 4 quadrants. Basically, I'm giving you a mini master's in leadership and development, ladies and gentlemen, here. Here we have a look on what's called psychological safety. Lately, it's become extremely, fashionable, but it's really important. This is, how much do you feel at ease? How much do you feel happy about expressing yourself? That's the basic idea of psychological safety. But that's not enough. If we have a look at the bottom, we look at motivation and accountability. So one thing is feeling at ease. The other thing is the quality of what I'm going to give. And again, let's have a look at these quadrants. Basically, what we don't want are the bottom 2 quadrants. So let's start off with this. You don't care. You're not really interested. You do the absolute minimum, and you don't feel like you can do any more because you feel threatened. And that's an example of basically apathy. Don't really care. It's equally unuseful if you feel it's all on your shoulders, but you don't feel that the context is there to allow you to get the best from the situation. Let's have a look at the top. Now, you may believe that the place to go is the comfort zone, but actually that's not the case. Because the comfort zone, if you have a look at, is simply, I feel at ease, but you know what? I'll just coast. I'll just do what I need to. So I get the piece of paper. Where we really need to go to is the learning zone. So how can we put you in a situation where you feel comfortable in order to give your best. That's the idea. Now, you could think, everyone, that I'm speaking just about this for them. But actually, it's a two-way process. And during this year, you realize, this has been a learning process very much also for myself, for Vicky, and the MBA staff. And what I'd like to do is spend a little bit of time explaining why. And to do that, we need to have a little bit of history. So let's say what I'm going to do now is, because I'm feeling it's learning zone time, I'm going to go towards the arena. Information that maybe you had or you didn't have, that I'm going to put into the arena for everybody to show you the challenges that your nearest and dearest had, and also we had as well. So you may believe that the best way to get to the learning zone from the point of view of an MBA is just, well, provide content. You know, give them the tools, give them the processes. And if you believe Bill Gates back in 1996, there you go, content is king. But that's not the case. To be honest, in order to get where we need to get with you guys, so you feel enriched, well, it's context is king. In other words, the situation. So, here's a bit of history. As Andrea Tracogna said, way back in time, a long time ago, the school was founded on this course. MIB stands for Master in Business, yeah? So Master in International Business. So from roughly, Andrea, roughly from MBA 1 to MBA 24, the situation in terms of dynamics was this. Oh, this photo here is from MBA 1. And if you notice, a student A220 after the course became Guido Modugno, so there he is in the front there. Okay. So basically, the vast majority of our time as a course, we have had people in presence in the training room in real time. Yeah, that's the vast majority of time. Then, around 24 to 25, we started to include the odd part-time student. Now, these part-time students were local. They were in this location. So when they did come, they would come here and again join Guido and everybody else in the classroom. Okay. That was the same situation up until MBA 30. And then, as you know, if you do the maths, these guys are MBA 33, we had lockdown. And in lockdown, everyone went online. Oh no, first everyone said, what's happening? And then everyone went online. And after lockdown, it took a period of time, and sometimes we went back to lockdown and so on, and everyone has lived their own stories there. Oh, by the way, that's not the MBA from MBA 30. From 31 to 32, the situation changed because we had, yes, people in the class, yes, 1 or 2 people every year from the local area, but then we added, using the information that we'd got through the learning curve of the lockdown, we added a couple of other things. People who were 100% online, so full-time online, and also part-time online. Now, you can imagine here that things start to get a little bit more complicated because there are now a number of different balls in the air here. How about MBA 33? Well, basically, the situation changed numerically. Because for MBA 33, ladies and gentlemen, the number of people who were actually in the class became much, much smaller. And as you can see, the biggest differences were the number of people working online at a distance part-time or online at a distance full-time. And that creates a big difference in how people interact, how we can create or not the situation for the learning zone. Now, I have to say that we did a lot of learning, didn't we, Vicky, in this year, not just you guys. We asked for feedback and we got it. I also asked, from your point of view, from your point of view, what would you say would be the best way to look at a hybrid course? Looking at the dynamics that we've lived during this year, which was a difficult one. However, I believe the learning is going to be useful for you moving forward, a lot more than if it had gone smoothly. What can we do in order to improve in this particular situation? And I asked these guys here, and generally, for not only their personal point of view, But I said, go do benchmarking. Find out what the other schools are doing. And what I found was, it's a different context. It's true that EADA does it in this way, or Princeton does it in that way. But to be honest, they're different contexts. So we needed to try and understand what works here, because this context is a very particular one. However, thanks to your help, we were able to come to a number of different conclusions, and I'd like to share them with you right now. So the first one is this. We decided to incentivize full-time in-presence participation because we understood that the best way to get you in the right situation was to have a minimum number of students who are full-time in the class because they drive the dynamics. They get the whole thing going. Second, when people come and look at the part-time, yes, the part-time is a possibility, but to be honest, we found that unless you've got very, very flexible employers, it becomes quite difficult for you to do, and you feel that you're squashed in the middle there. So, for example, one of the people who was a potential candidate for 34, when we looked at the profile, our selection process suggested a more suitable program looking at the profile. So, let's become realistic in terms of overhauling the way that we do the selection. Next one. We're strengthening online participation rules to encourage increased engagement. You know and I know that if online there are not the cameras on, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So we're going to be looking at that in terms of the student rules. Next, peer evaluation for contribution levels. So when there's group work, we're going to ask people to evaluate their and everyone else's work, so we have a piece of the group work which is not just linked to the production, but how much we were actually contributing. 5, increase frequency of feedback sessions with online candidates and make them mandatory. What does that mean? Well, I decided I needed to reach out to the online guys to understand what's the situation. But I said, of course, it's not obligatory. What I found was the guys who were in class would come to the online sessions and give me lots of good feedback about what's happening in class. So we're going to make them mandatory. When we start the MBA next week for MBA 34, I will make sure that the first couple of days are absolutely targeted to managing virtual distance. And finally, together with the Dean, we're going to actively push for sharing best practice of hybrid training techniques within the faculty, because many people are very good at some things, but no one's good at everything. And so we'll be using this as a way, as let's say, a springboard to move forward. And thank you very much indeed for your ideas. I'm very happy to say that the learning has helped us tremendously. And I know Matthias is saying, why didn't you do that this year? Well, because that was part of our learning from the unknown, let's say. So, what does the MBA 34 look like? Well, to be honest, we're going to do all of this stuff, but it's a different context. So, this is what the MBA 34 looks like. We're back to having the vast majority of people actually in the training room full-time. Yep. Of course, we have our 6 people from MBA 33 who are part-time, who are continuing for their second year, and they're online. We have about 2 or 3 people who are going to be doing hybrid, although they will spend the first couple of months with us here. So, a completely different situation. But what we've learnt is, definitely, we'll be able to offer hybrid to a much wider range than we thought was possible. Okay, now, let's get back to the arena. I'm going to show everybody here, that's the theory out of the way, what happened behind the scenes. I'll show you first what it's like when you're training as a leadership development person. So here's a particularly boring session that they did with me. Manuel was having a good day there. Your hosts today are, well, not there. So this is what it can look like if you're looking at the screen. Now, obviously, that's not a good idea. And so what are the ways that we increase engagement? Well, we can call in the experts, and there are some superheroes who are available. the Fantastic Four, but not on a constant basis, not on a constant basis. So what I'd like to do is explain to you that one of the biggest challenges working with people online is that you don't have the context around it. I mean, you see them on the screen, but you don't know what's happening around the screen. We are missing the shared context. I'm going to take you behind those screens, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. So here's the view from a gym near a swimming pool and someone's lunch. That's what's happening around that person as they are going through the course. But that's not just all. Notice, ladies and gentlemen, that this person here is using, I think, Chiara Ferrini's notebook to take, finance notes? There you go. Okay, that's behind the scenes. But not only, it gets worse. A potent cocktail of white wine and sun cream allowed this person to get through whatever they were doing. But that's just behind the, our computers of the guys at a distance. What about behind the computers of the guys who are here? Ladies and gentlemen, here is Guino Modugno once again, a slightly older version, no longer A220. And as you can see, only when you're in the classroom do you see just how much he enjoys using the digital whiteboard. There you go. Finally, some of you guys online didn't realize just how much partying the people were doing actually in the class. So here we have examples of behind the context. Now, the whole idea here is the more that people feel connected, the better it is. But in order for people to feel connected, they have to understand who they are, what's important to them. This guy here, Manuel Castells, is not talking about, hey, let's all be in the classroom together. He's actually talking about how people use the internet. So let me explain a little bit about what we did this year to try and make sure people were connected. One of the things we asked was we asked these guys to give gifts to one another in order to get them used to the idea of giving. And here's just a range of them. Here's just a range of the gifts they give. And the whole idea of this exercise is get used to giving, and then everyone will be free to give as well. So the idea is that we can stimulate this idea of the more you put in, the more you get out. Right at the beginning, it's important to understand names. And so we have various names, various little ways in trying to do it. Here is Alba singing a song in order to get them to remember her name. And then we have King Devon. The problem is that he wore that hat until about March. But there you go. Everyone did know his name, though. Another thing that's important is to understand exactly how much energy you've got. It's all about managing energy. Of course, there is one way of recharging the batteries, which is this. Or you could do it whilst you're following online, like this. Or if you're really daring, you can do it actually in the classroom, like this. But that's not the only way to recharge your batteries. Another one, of course, is food. And here we have to be careful, because here in Italy, food is important. When you've got lots of people coming from different countries, they have very different ideas of what Italian food is. What it's not is putting pineapple on pizzas. This is a criminal offense in Italy, and people have been put in prison for 10 years for this sort of stuff. Here's a Croatian girl learning how to eat. And then let's swap it round. Here's a Vietnamese lady showing you how to eat. We can go from that to something linked to eating, which is birthdays. There were quite a few of them. What a surprise in a year. In fact, everyone had one. There is something, however, that's a bit strange, which is they're a bit tight on the candles, aren't they? Now, either you're saying these MBAs are very young, or they're really not investing in candles. So there we go. So maybe for the next 10, MBA 34, we're going to, more candles, please. One thing where we can say that it went very well in terms of the guys who were here and everyone who came here was the drinking part. I don't know. That went above and beyond any cultural differences. Let's move quickly to the idea of the learning zone. The whole idea of the learning zone is adding to what you've got, so reaching new heights. Now, you can reach new heights through the help of your colleagues. I believe that they need more seats there in Kozlovic Winery. You can reach new heights yourself, or you can reach really new heights if you're Jacopo yourself as well. Or, if you're Agustin, you can reach new heights by going to the top of Mont Blanc. So, there you go. Okay. Right. Now, what else, just to finish off? I've got this for you. Martin, our Argentinian rugby expert, who's looking very fit today, I have to say, has lost a bit of weight there, he's looking in form, has been a massive influencer worldwide. You didn't realize this. I mean, as you can see here, Martin here wasn't looking very happy in the old school way of doing things, but let him be himself. Completely different. Now, you're saying, how did he influence? Well, just a couple of days ago, thanks to Martin, the US Senate has changed their dress code. So well done, Martin. Excellent. We're impressed. Finally, in terms of learning zone, let me show you an example of how contamination works in terms of learning. I'm going to call this the Trang face section. So, if you have a look carefully here, ladies and gentlemen, you'll see some people have understood how to do the Trang face. Other people have not. Much better, although the professor of finance really hasn't got it. Almost there, Martin, almost there. 2 hands, though. Nailed it. There you go. Well done. That's the Trang face. Great. So, basically, what I'm saying is this. It's been a hard year. We've understood that in order to get things in a position where people can get the best from themselves, we have to think very carefully about the context itself. But the learning we've got has not only been yours, but also ours as well. So I'd like to thank you so much. Now, of course, at this point, as Andrea said, this is the end in terms of the passage of the MBA for you. So basically, I'm a voice from the past at this point. And because I'm also Generation X, I'm a voice from the past. So what I'd like to do to finish off with is give you a voice from the future, your future, because you're going to go back into the workplace and you're going to manage people who are a lot younger than me. So this is our final, a short message from Generation Alpha to wish you the very best.
Congratulations, MBA 33. Well done.
Well done, MBA 33. He's available for weddings and small children's parties as well. Very, very cheap price.
So let's wait for Igor to change the... Thank you, thank you. Oh, here we are. So dear participants, during this year we have mentioned many times the importance of our Alumni Association, of being part of our community. Let's welcome a former MBA participant and now president of the MIB Alumni Association, Gonzalo Moreno Vicelli.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I am delighted to begin my short speech by seeing, well, some very well-known faces by myself that, well, we have met a few months ago. Some new faces as well. As it was mentioned before, some of you were doing hybrid, some of other online. It's great to see you all together here. And again, I would like to start this brief speech by congratulating you all, MBA 33. Well done. Well done, guys. As president of the MIB, Trieste Alumni Association, it is a great pleasure for me to provide you not only with my sincerest congratulations, but also those of the rest of our community, as well as the rest of the executive board. As it has been mentioned by Vicky, Andrea, and Tim, your MBA experience has been a long and intense journey in which I am sure many sacrifices were made by you, your family, your loved ones, your friends. But you've made it. You've done it. You have reached this important milestone in your professional and personal lives. Now, well, already 5 years ago, back on September the 14th, 2018, I was sitting there where you are currently sitting now, graduating also from the MBA full-time program with my fellow MBA colleagues, or well, MBA family, as we like to call them. Let's say that very same day, it was a Friday, I remember, I looked back and asked myself whether I was the same person who 1 year ago started the program. And well, I was really proud to say I actually wasn't. Let's say I have learned a lot from the faculty, from my colleagues, and ultimately also from myself. I am certain that most of you are also experiencing that sense of pride and satisfaction. But let me tell you something, as it was somehow, let's say, spoiled by Andrea and Tim previously. This journey is far from being over, okay? Today is a great milestone. You are getting your diplomas. You will celebrate, I'm sure. But this also marks the threshold, let's say, of being formally part of the Alumni Association, to which, let's say, I warmly invite you. And let me just reflect together with you on a few figures of our association. We are currently more than 3,700 members all over the world, spread in all 5 continents. We also count with a number of, let's say, chapter-specific or country-specific clubs in more than 30 countries. And recently, we have come up with the, let's say, an ambassadors network who, let's say, are our, how to put it, our people on the ground, our people on the field, who help us organize some city-specific activities, such as some of the networking aperitivi you might have already participated in. Our association, as such, has the aim of focusing on continuous training and improvement, exploring also new business opportunities. Let's say, we think that also the value of the MBA itself, apart from the academic contents, the faculty, let's say all the effort each of you has put here, has also to do with the network you have built among yourselves mainly, but also with some fellow alumni, as well, it might be my case or some other people you have already met. We foster networking activities and, let's say, social leisure activities as well. All of this, let's say, not only aimed at enriching our own lives, but also that of those who surround us. Speaking about networking opportunities, let's say, as you might know, in a few weeks' time, we will have our annual alumni reunion, which will be on October the 14th and 15th. Of course, you are all invited to participate either in person, if you are nearby, or also online. This year, we will focus mostly, let's say, on the academic side, on artificial intelligence and its role or transformation from, let's say, a scientific concept to business opportunities. We will also have a dedicated space that we call the Business Corner for fellow alumni who want to, let's say, to promote their own businesses during the event. And, well, this is the last year of the 3-year term that myself as president and the rest of my colleagues in the board have been in office. So, well, it will be also an opportunity to wrap up what we have done during this period. Provided that today is September the 22nd, you are getting your diplomas today, you are still in time to propose yourself to be a part of the next coming, let's say, board. You have time, if I'm not wrong, till Sunday. I think it's September the 24th to apply. I personally encourage you to do so. These 3 years allowed me to meet a lot of people that I didn't know. We created a beautiful team. And again, I developed great friendships, not only within the board, but with the community itself. During the reunion, apart from the academic activities of Saturday, we will have the social dinner on Saturday as well. And on Sunday, we will have the golf, the classic golf tournament in Trieste, as well as a tennis tournament we are also organizing. Again, the board that I still have the pleasure of presiding, we are composed of 12 people, 8 ladies, 4 gentlemen. For the first time, out of these 12 members, a total of 7 countries are represented, which again, it's a small sample of what we as a community are. We have people from Argentina, Brazil, China, Italy, Latvia, Mexico, and India in the board currently. We also have quite a broad number of programs included. Not only the MBA and NIRM, but also the Executive MBA, Origin Italia program, as well as the Executive Master in Insurance and Finance. We strongly believe that the strength of our Alumni Association relies precisely on sharing experiences, sharing a helping hand when we need it. And again, we are in a context of, a great, I would say even a plethora of cultures and people with different backgrounds. It can only work for the best. We share our sense of belonging in a community that personally I believe has no borders. Just to wrap up, talking about sharing, about networking experiences and opportunities. Today we will be having the first networking aperitivo in Amsterdam for the first time. By early October, I think it's October the 8th, the first one in Vienna. And we are also, trying to organize, prior to the reunion, some other networking aperitivi, namely here in Trieste, in Udine, and in Rome. Positive energy and fresh ideas are always welcome, let me tell you. We really invite you to be an active part of our community, either, again, on the board of directors or as any of us alumni participants here. We really count on you. Thank you all for your attention, and congratulations again, guys.
Thank you, Gonzalo. Dear MBA participants, now it's time to officially celebrate all your efforts. I invite Professor Traconia and Professor Baxter to join me in presenting your diplomas. On behalf of the faculty committee, the school is pleased to confer the MBA in International Business degree to the following. From Argentina, Martín Octavio Arenas. From Italy, Nicole Belci. From Chile, José Ignacio Ricardo Concha Fuenzalinda. From Chile, Agustín José de Negri Oxley. From Chile, Matías Alfredo Figueroa Icaza. From Israel, Ilya Gurman. From United States of America, Paul Gordon Heller. From Italy, Jacopo Gabrieli Marinelli. So, Jacopo, we can see you now here. Congratulations. From Italy, Carmen Mirabelli. From South Africa, Ntabeleng Lilian Monareng. So, unfortunately, Ntabi is not online. We wish you congratulations anyway. She's there? Where? In the little screen. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Here you are, Tambi. I'm so sorry. I didn't see you. Double click here. Sorry. Here you are now, big, the whole screen. Congratulations. I'm sorry about this. Okay. Back here. From Vietnam, Frank Nguyen Nhu. From Italy, Vincenzo Panacea. From Chile, Sebastian Rodriguez Pistelli. Let's see if I can manage now. Okay, Sebastian is not here, right? I don't see him, but neither you. A big hug to Sebastian in Chile. No, he's in the US, actually. He's in the US. Maybe he's working right now. Yes. Okay. From Italy, Luca Tagliaferri. From Russian Federation, Ekaterina Vedenchuk. On behalf of the faculty committee, the school is pleased to confer the MBA in International Business degree with honors to the following. From Italy, Alba Ferreri. From Italy, Manuel Fiorotto. From Argentina, Silvio Germán Furchi. From Italy, Federico Gardini. From Italy, Rachele Martina Masciuli. From Italy, Miriam Pacetti. The school is pleased to award the MBA in International Business degree with high honors to the following. From Italy, Devan Radovic. A big congratulations to you all. And now it's your turn. So on behalf of MBA 33, please welcome Matthias and Martin.
Buongiorno a tutti, or should I say buonasera? I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed faculty members, proud families and friends, and of course, the remarkable graduates of the MBA 33 in International Business at MIP Trieste School of Management. We stand before you today as proud graduates of this program, and we are honored to have been invited to speak to you on this special occasion. Today, we gather here not just to celebrate an academic achievement, but to commemorate a journey that began with a dream, took flight through dedication, and has now culminated in this momentous graduation ceremony. As we stand on the precipice of a new chapter, we must take a moment to reflect on the significance of this day and the incredible diversity that defines our cohort. When we embarked on this MBA program, we represented not only different countries, but also diverse cultures, perspectives, and life experiences. Our cohort hails from Vietnam, Italy, America, the United States of America, of course, Slovenia, Chile, Argentina, Israel, Russia, and South Africa. The very fact that we are all here today, united under the banner of this international business school, speaks volume about the collective determination and resilience. Just as Trieste, which is a truly unique city, because throughout history has been a melting pot of cultures with influences from Italy, Austria, Slovenia, and beyond. This multiculturalism is one of Trieste's greatest strengths. It has made the city a vibrant and cosmopolitan place, and it has also given rise to a thriving multicultural business community. Our journey was far from a smooth ride. We encountered challenges that tested our mettle and moments that left us pondering the path ahead. The intricacies of an MBA program are not for the faint-hearted. The time zone differences, language barriers, and varying business practices could have easily become overwhelming obstacles. But here we are, standing tall and proud, having successfully navigated these treacherous waters. The challenges arise from hybrid education were also an important thing to take into consideration during the entire year. But just as the saying, where there are difficulties, there are also opportunities. The outcome of the year offered us the chance and gave us the tools to create a more inclusive and equitable study and workplace. Our diversity became our strength. It enriched our classroom discussions, broadened our horizons, and opened our minds to a world of possibilities. We learned not just from textbooks, but from each other's experiences, stories, and insights. We discovered that despite our differences, we all share a common goal to excel in our fields. In overcoming these challenges, we have emerged not just as individuals, but as a close-knit community. We supported each other through late-night study sessions, cheered for one another's successes, and lent a helping hand and an ear during moments of doubt. Our collective resilience was the glue that held us together when the going got tough. It was through this program that we were able to break down many myths of this world. Italy is one, and its people are wonderful, no matter if it is north or south. The Andes is just a mountain, not a barrier. And those of us who manage to look over it, we find great people. Gringos are people who know and care about our world, and that the war between the two giants exists and serves only in the mind of some. From Israel, we always receive knowledge and push, and from Vietnam, a friend for life. Today, we stand here as graduates of the MBA in International Business Program, a testament to our perseverance and dedication. We are prepared to face the global business landscape with confidence and competence, armed with the knowledge and skills we have acquired during our year at MIP Trieste. We would also like to take this opportunity to thank the people that without them, this adventure would not have been possible. Please stay with me. This is important. First, to our families. Some of us had the privilege to have our partner and kids here in Trieste with us. But believe me that even if you were not here in the flesh, each MBA participant had the support from their families or relatives. And it was crucial to overcome some of the toughest moments of the year. Second, to the MIP Trieste School of Management professors and staff. All of them were always extremely helpful and available to help us throughout this year. From Giuseppe and Maurizio on the entrance, to Mauro, Sara, and Martina on the buffet. And all the people behind the scenes, so that everything was in great shape to help us focus on our classes and anything else. Also, to our always kind and patient Vicky and Barbara, our energetic team, Professor Piloto with his endless stories, Professor Peresima and Moduño making numbers understandable for us, Professor Venier and Traconia giving sense to the organization and strategy, and Professor Bortoluzzi making us understand that each country in the world should be approached differently. And many others that I will not name because this speech will go on forever otherwise. Be convinced that all of you will have an important place in our hearts and minds forever. Third and last, obviously, to my classmates. All of you in just 1 year were able to evolve from a person that we have not met before in the past to become a part of our family.
Allora, let us not forget that our journey does not end here. Not necessarily. The road ahead is long, and the challenge we face will continue to evolve. However, we have proven that together, as a diverse and resilient group, we can overcome any obstacle that comes our way. As we step into the business world, let us carry with us the lesson we have learned here, the value of diversity, the strength of unity, and the power of determination are every day more important in this VUCA world. Let us use our education not only to further our career, but also to make a positive impact on the global stage. With certainty, in the future, we will face a huge question that needs to be answered, a decision to choose between happiness and success. The answer to this question should always be to choose happiness, because it is likely that if we seek happiness, we will become successful. And not necessarily if we choose success, we will find happiness. In a society where everything is measured, counted, compared, and weighed, we are the generation called to build a happier, more human, and fairer society wherever we are in the world. And with the tools gathered over the past year, we have no doubt we are more than close to achieve it. To our fellow graduates, we say, you are the embodiment of what is possible when diverse minds come together to achieve a common goal. The world is waiting for you to leave the mark, to redefine the future of your fields, and to inspire others with your success. Before we finish, we would like to take a moment to remember some of the best anecdotes of this academic year. Sorry in advance for those who are not going to understand. Our favorite gringo is a witness of Triestini, not necessarily good, welcoming way, welcoming strangers, level 0. Maybe Agustin can make a meme about it, but it depends. If we have an MBA delivery tomorrow, the procrastination monkey will definitely be in his head. Stay with me, please. This is important. We are now on the highest point on the motivation curve. Enjoy it. Car people taught us that Italy has beautiful places in the north, but also in the south. And intelligent people in the north, but also in the south. There are big industries in the north, but also in the south. But I will not keep going with this. But please remember it. Many thanks for giving us those mitzvahs. You truly behave as a king. If the class is not that beautiful, you may find some interest content watching your colleagues' screen below you. Professor, have a question. I know it's 12:59, but I need to go to Al Chiqueto, my personal office. All invited, especially you, the Sudacas crew. Let us all be proud to have not one, but 2 Triestine friends. Well, I don't know if friends is the word. Maybe close people, or just MBA classmate. And who took us in for a year so that we could study. They took us? Or did they just lay safe for a while? I do not know. It's getting very confusing. Let us move on. And remember, folks, siamo tutti sulla stessa barca. Congratulations, class of MBA 33. Today we celebrate not just our individual achievement, but the collective triumph of unity, diversity, and resilience. As we step into the professional world, let us once remember that our success is not just a measure by what we achieve, but by the positive impact we make on the world. Let us remember MIB. Let us remember Trieste. Let us remember this wonderful experience. And let us remember who we have and had by our sides this year. Thank you, and may the future be bright and full of opportunity for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Martin and Matthias, for your beautiful words. Every year, when I start working on the organization of the final dissertations and the graduation day, I reflect on the intense year we have spent together and come up with a number of takeaways from the time that we shared. The MBA program has been changing during the last years, and it has become a more complex, but at the same time, a more enriched reality. We passed from a class of only full-time participants in presence at school to a variety of attendance modes, on a full-time or part-time basis, in presence or online, or, thanks to the hybrid formula, a combination of all of these. Diversity has always been an important element in our MBA program, and today, more than ever, it is a key characteristic of added value for the class. As in the previous years, the MBA group has been represented by different backgrounds and working experiences, a wide range of needs and expectations, and a host of different countries of origin. But for the first time in the history of our MBAs, there was a specific characteristic that identified this group: the presence of a major number of part-time participants versus full-time participants, which resulted in most people attending the lectures online versus a small group of participants in presence at MIB. Do you realize that we have not been all together in the same room? Never, not even today. For sure, this situation had a big impact both on group dynamics and on individuals. And we worked together to manage the situation in the best possible way, as Tim has mentioned before in his speech. The MBA experience may have not been the same for everyone, but for sure it was unique for each one of you. The pieces of a jigsaw puzzle are all unique, but the puzzle is not complete without all of them. The rose for the little prince in Saint-Exupéry's book was unique and precious. Without her, he could not have learned what love and caring for each other meant. So how did you manage this situation this year? Well, even if working with difference can be really challenging and is often regarded as an obstacle, if managed properly, it allows us to grow and broaden our horizons. And you did that successfully. By being online and monitoring the lectures, I was able to go beyond the learning of content and closely follow your engagement levels, understand your doubts and fears, observe you struggling with a very demanding calendar and workload, watch you agree and disagree, failing and starting over again, constantly adjusting to overcome difficulties, and finally, celebrate your successes. Together with the knowledge that you gained, you learned how to approach complexity and uncertainty, and how to manage new situations and problems. You asked for help and advice without being ashamed, and shared your experiences and time with your colleagues in a constructive way. I would like to thank each one of you for your engagement and dedication during this year. Special mention goes to Paul and Manuel, our class representatives. Thank you both for being a bridge between the class and us. In addition, Devan and Silvio played an invaluable role. Where are you, Silvio? There you are. As teaching assistants. A big thank you for being so effective and professional. Dear graduates, the MBA experience that you shaped together will always be part of you and will last far beyond this ceremony. What is the secret for succeeding in your next steps? I cannot tell you. You will discover it by yourselves. However, we trust that you are now prepared. From now on, keep being curious and actively search diversity by always giving the most of yourselves in motivating others. Dear friends, it has been a pleasure and honor to work with you. And on behalf of myself and everybody at MIP, I wish you all the best in your professional careers and personal lives. I will miss you. Keep in touch, and I hope to see you in the near future. Thank you. The ceremony is almost in the end, but before concluding it, I would like to ask Barbara for your help and share this tradition that we respect every year, which is to pass le bâton, a symbol, from one MBA generation to the other. So we would like to call in representation on behalf of MBA 33, somebody who was always online, but today is finally here. So Federico, if you can join us here. And on behalf of MBA 34, Eliza. She's here, yes. Please join us. Welcome, Eliza. We have some representatives of the MBA 34 program that will start next Wednesday. So hopefully during the toast, you will manage to talk between each other and meet from one generation to the next. Ladies and gentlemen, our ceremony has reached its conclusion. Join us in the new pavilion for a final toast. But before, I'm sure we will take a picture for all of you. So where is the picture? Outside. We will go to the main entrance to do the picture and then go all together to the pavilion. Okay, thank you.
Vicky.